Hey guys, I'm Kevin Davis from kevinstrek.com. I am here with Eric Hulse today. We're going to be doing an interview with Eric. He is a holistic health and lifestyle coach. He's a graduate of both the Institute for Integrative Nutrition and the Czech Institute. He works to inspire others through his words and actions to live each day better than they did the last. His approach to wellness focuses on primal needs to eat real nutritious foods, to create loving bonds with others, and to reduce stress through daily exercise and, of course, sleep. What's up, Eric?
Hey, Kev, what's going on? Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, man, good to see you. Hopefully, I don't know, I mean, I guess everybody doesn't know this as much as we do, but this is, take 17 or something for this interview.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of messed around the other day trying to do this thing. We had trouble. Google Plus didn't like Eric or something like that, and so we're here now.
Good. Excellent. Ready. Pumped.
All right. So now I'm just like distracted. So what's going on? So Eric, I gave the little bio here. We talked a little bit about you. What did I leave out? Is there anything else you want to throw in there?
I do have my website, which is just my name, erichulse.com. If you want to like check that out a little bit.
Here we go. Let me show that. So here's the website for people that are watching, and you want to maybe guide us around it a little?
Yeah. Well, the first thing I have my logo there, which I'm really excited about, proud of that thing.
I love that thing.
It does. Honestly, I was like, okay, I need something that represents me as a health coach. And as a health coach, I do everything from exercise to nutrition to meditation to you name it, it's in there, you know, personal development. And I was like, all right, I need to think of something that incorporates all of that stuff. So I thought about it. I let it rest in my mind a little bit. And I was cooking one night, and this symbol just shot into my head, you know, like this strong, powerful, almost like a revolution, you know, getting your health back in order, reclaiming your health. Has the Zen circle in the back to incorporate the meditation, the spirituality that I do in my practice. And it's just strong and it's powerful. And that's my practice. It's strong, it's powerful, but it also has a tie-in to nature and to spirituality. And
it's got a pretty badass look too. So
yeah, I love it. I love it.
Expect some badassery when they come to see you.
Yep, that's it.
I'm picturing you, like you said you were cooking dinner, I'm picturing you like, you know, you're like reaching in like a bowl full of vegetables here, and you just pop out this carrot, and you're like, I found it, you know?
Yeah,
That's
right.
how you pictured this thing, you know? So that's the logo. It talks a little bit about what you're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
We go down, and we've got, of course, the blog posts.
Yeah.
You can sign up for Eric's newsletter and to do the 30-day fitness challenge.
Yes.
Which is pretty sweet. Always love to do those challenges.
Yeah, in that challenge is 30 days, and I give you everything you need to know from workouts to stress reduction to nutrition. So it's pretty comprehensive.
It's everything.
Yeah.
That's great. And then, of course, you can scroll down through here. There's a ton of you know, different posts, and you can read through the archives and comments, etc., etc.
Right, and you could get to know a little bit more about me and my practice. So
we go to Who is Eric here?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is Eric.
So there I am.
Yeah, there's two of them right there.
Yeah. So the one at 21, as you can see, not looking too happy, not looking too healthy. That was me about 10 years ago, actually, right around the ending of college. And as you can see, you know, I was a little overweight, about 20 pounds overweight, and I was just telling Kevin this, that all the pictures that I took during that time, I looked completely miserable, like oh, none of them I was smiling, and that I think that it's really just showing of the lifestyle I was living back then, you know, just not really paying attention to my nutrition, not getting the exercise I need, not having, you know, a guidance in some sense to help guide my life. And then you fast forward 10 years later, and it's like, whoa, who the hell is that guy? You know,
Yeah.
Smiling, glowing, chilling on a beach, has a pretty sexy body there. So it's like night and day, you know. So it's really just to show you how lifestyle and nutrition can completely mold a person and who they are.
Yeah. It does make a big difference. I mean, well, and like we were talking, I mean, you just mentioned about you not smiling any of your pictures, and the same. You know, I can remember for me when I was overweight, and we were just talking about it. I don't even have on my website a comparison picture like this because I just avoided the camera. I didn't just not smile. I just didn't get pictures taken if I didn't have to.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So that's a little bit about Eric, and then of course we've got the link up here for the health coaching.
Yeah, and it just goes through my practice, you know, how I work with my clients, and I really just focus on my first client was me. You know, when I went into health coaching, I went in because I was like, look, I need to get my health in order, and I need to go in full force. So I wanted to become a leader. So I had to face all my own issues with food and body image and understanding lifestyle issues, and I'm so happy that I was able to do that because I know what people are going through with food issues and cravings and not having a clear guidance and direction in life, and I was able to work past all those things. So when I work with my clients, I can totally see life through their eyes.
Yeah, and I definitely that out because I mean I feel kind of the same way, having done the same thing, that comparing to other, you know, some of the other trainers that I've been around that I've seen just haven't understood when someone comes to them with a question or with a problem and they're struggling with you know, doing the things they know they should.
Yeah,
it's very helpful to be able to say, yeah, I remember when I felt that way.
Mm-hmm.
So all right, so that's let's bring this back up. Hey, it's me. So that's Eric's website, erichulse.com. You guys can check that out. There will be links down below the video here if I get my finger in the shot, so that you guys can check what Eric's doing over there and follow him beyond this interview.
Excellent.
So that's, I mean, we talked about your background and experience a little bit there. That was one of the things I wanted to ask you. So how did you get started as actually getting into holistic wellness coaching?
Well, back in high school and in my early college days, health was really very important to my life, you know, and my family, my whole family is involved in health in some sense. Like my uncle, he was a gymnast, a bodybuilder. He has a gym now. My brother is a strong man. He has his own gym. He has his own business. And even though I liked being healthy and it was really important to me, I kind of went a different route. Like I was a yoga instructor for a little while. I was a Pilates instructor. I did personal training for a little bit, and then I got a job. I actually went to college to become a music teacher. So right out of college, I became a music teacher, and all of that stuff that I learned was like it went out the window. Gone. Like it was like not even there. You know, my first job, my first year. And you have to understand, I work with kids, you know, 5-year-olds to 10-year-olds. So as much as I love them, and I was just telling Kevin this, it's like I am on 5 times a day. You know, I'm like on stage because teaching music, you have to be energetic, you have to be entertaining, and it's like I'm in Vegas 5 times a day. I see over 125 kids. You know, so my
that age.
Well, oh my goodness,
you got to keep them
that age. You know, a bunch of kindergartners all day long. But anyway, I was like, okay, I love what I'm doing. I love this job, but it was definitely taking its toll on me. Along with going to grad school twice a week, driving all over Long Island. I had a part-time job as a waiter. I did 2 after-school clubs after my job. So I was just spreading myself really thin. And before I know it, I was overweight, I was stressed out, it just wasn't good news. You know, there was one summer where I was doing a little research. I was like, look, I need to get back into health. I need to get my health back in order. I need to become a leader in some sense. So I dove in head first. I signed up at Institute for Integrative Nutrition. I was like, look, I'm doing this full force and I'm getting my health in order. And the first client I had was me. I had to make sure that my health was in order before I can help lead and instruct other people. So that was really awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so I just a side question here from something you mentioned there. You talked about how your whole family was like, into fitness. I mean, I know, from some of the stuff your brothers talked about, like I've heard a lot about your uncle and stuff.
Oh,
but
yeah.
one thing that about this, I mean, I know you talk a lot about nutrition and about, mindset and having fun. And I just thought it might be interesting if you've got any interesting stories that you've heard from your parents about the way, the healthier lifestyle and tradition of how they grew up. I mean, I know I've heard a story about them like out in the woods chasing a hog or something, something like that, like tying them down and stuff.
Yeah. My dad, he lived on a farm, so
yeah,
everything that and my dad, you have to understand, he is the typical like man of the house. Like what he says goes. He doesn't take like shit from anybody. That's it. It's my dad's way. That's how it has to be. And that kind of came across in all of his kids in some sense, in some way or another. But back to the way that they were brought up. They were brought up in Belize. They grew up in a very poor part of Belize. My dad lived on a farm. He was a farm boy. He was used to killing his own food and going out and harvesting his own things. So when he came to America, it was like a big shock for him. And he's the kind of guy who everything that he does has to be perfect and it has to be top notch. So when he got to America and he started seeing American food and just the lifestyle, he was like, oh hell no. This is not going to happen. And he kind of just he pays his own way wherever he goes, and he introduced that to us, to not settle for anything but the best, So his food has to be the best, and my mother is a fantastic cook. You can't get better than her. She's amazing. And she taught me as well how to, in a sense, honor food and how food nourishes our body, and to really be present when you're cooking and to put your love and all your focus into your food. So for me, I feel completely blessed that I have two opposites that I feel have put me together. My dad is very strong and structured and strict. My mother is very compassionate and loving. And that is like pushed together. And it's like, Eric, that's who I am. And I also had my auntie. She was my father's aunt. And she was like my dad, but a woman. She was no joke. You didn't mess around with her. She was no joke at all. She was actually known at the grocery stores. She was that lady who would get online and it would be like, oh crap, here she comes. Because she was like an army sergeant in a short Caribbean woman. You just didn't mess around, and that is also something that was instilled in me as well. So it was a great upbringing. I love my family very much.
Yeah, I mean, I think that comes to a great mix for the stuff we're talking about here, for the kind of work we're doing. I mean, having that understanding of food and lifestyle, and then also not being afraid to, like your dad, not being afraid to live differently than the standard American lifestyle of eating fast food all the time and all that junk.
We grew up with homemade meals every single night. It was a rare occasion where we didn't have that, because my mother and my aunt lived with us, and they were in that kitchen cooking. They did everything from scratch. Their hands were in that food, and there was love in that food, and there was just, like I said, there was a lot of compassion and honoring your food and where it came from, and knowing that that's what's nourishing your body. It wasn't like, okay, I'm just going to throw some chicken nuggets in the microwave and, okay, here, kids, this is your food. No, it was lots of love and preparation.
So we're kind of talking here. I mean, I guess, we've kind of got off onto this tangent that's kind of going into food, though. I mean, we're talking about, not eating that kind of junk, or just grabbing chicken nuggets and throw it in the microwave. And we've mentioned that as a big part of the coaching that you're doing. What would you recommend then, as just some basic pointers that people can take away related to food?
Well, I think it's important for them to understand that what you eat and what you put in your mouth becomes who you are. So the food that you're eating, it becomes your body. So if you're eating foods that are filled with toxins and chemicals and all these things, that goes into your body, you digest it, and when you digest food, it's broken down into smaller parts that eventually go back into your body, and they grow your cells, they grow your organs, they grow your skin. So if you think of it from a standpoint of, am I going to eat this beautiful bowl of fresh organic vegetables, or am I going to eat this colorful kind of weird substance in an M&M? Which one do you want to become your heart? Which one do you want to become your fingers and your eyes? I want the vegetables. So
Yeah.
I make it very clear that your nutrition is who you are. And back to that picture that I showed you before that we saw through, that's when I was eating all this crappy food, pizza and fries and fried foods, and it became who I was. That food is dead, and that food is not living. It's very sad food, and that's how I felt back then. And then you go to the other picture where I'm like glowing, I'm on a beach, I'm like, hey y'all, and I'm feeling good because that was the food that I was eating, and that made me feel that way. So I try to bring that home to them, the philosophy part of it, And then we talk about ways to incorporate these foods into your family, and into how to cook them, and how to cook once, eat twice, so that you're making bigger portions. You're not spending all day in the kitchen. Just simple recipes, but real food recipes, and they're surprised at how simple and how tasty they can be.
It's amazing some of the stuff you can do when you actually just apply even some of the foods that you traditionally like to eat, that the crap foods or whatever, just to apply these principles of eating real foods and whole foods to that. I've been working on a book that we'll see if it comes out. We were hoping for like a December or January release. But anyway, so I was working on that and putting it together. One of the things that I did with it is I put a bunch of recipes in there. And it's talking about, from the primal concept of how to eat. So it's all real foods, nothing processed, mostly vegetables and meats, and a little bit of fruit. But the recipes that I've come up with through that process have been fantastic. We don't even use bread in my house anymore. I mean, we've come up with some methods of using cauliflower eggs, and as the main ingredients, and I'll make like a cornbread type of dish, or even we made burger buns the other day, and had chicken burgers on them. But so I mean, it's amazing. You don't even have to feel deprived just because you're eating healthy, real foods.
Exactly. There are amazing alternatives. So you don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself to this food that is hurting you and hurting your body, when there are healthy alternatives that taste even better, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing, is your taste will tend to change as you do it.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about what type of people that you work with.
Okay. Well, when people come to me, they're tired, they're overweight, they're stressed out, they're chronically fatigued, and they're sick, they're ill. But I take my clients through a interview process, and during the interview process, I'm like, yes, I'm definitely working with this person, or I'm like, no, this person is not for me. And it's that little. And you were talking about being a badass before. It's that little badassy that is in every single one of my clients. That thing that's like, all right, this person is going to work. This person feels like their health is a priority, and they're coming to me because they need guidance and they need my coaching. So it's already in their mind that they are going to get better. It's already in their mind that they're going to get. I tell them, I'm like, look, you have to get dirty. You have to look at your fears and your challenges and your goals and your health issues. You have to look it in the face and be like, you're not gonna beat me, and I'm stronger than you. And if I see that in a client, I will take them on just like that. But if I see that they're wishy-washy and it's not a priority, I don't take those people on, because it's my job to water that little badass seed and to get them healthy. So they come to me with typical problems that a lot of people have, but it's that special part of them that I'm like, yeah, I can work with this person and help them grow.
So now, once you do start working with them, then obviously we're talking about exercise, food, and stress management are kind of the main concepts that you're dealing with. We've talked a little bit about food. So what about stress management? I mean, what type of techniques do you use, and how, what is important that people need to understand about stress?
Well, stress is I think that is the number one cause of health issues in our country. Because when people are stressed, they don't eat correctly. When people are stressed, they don't sleep correctly. When people are stressed, they don't give time back to themselves. And they're just rushing. And the way stress responds in the body, it's typical for you to gain weight. It's typical for you to be depressed and for your body to be tired if it's constantly stressed. So I just make it very important to the people that I work with that is the number one thing that you need to give back to yourself. And I think once they start eating correctly, and once they start getting better sleep, they start understanding that, I'm important. I don't need to work 50,000 hours a day. I need to be with my family. I need to take time for me. I need to reconnect with nature. I need to spend 10, 15 minutes in the morning breathing and setting my intention for the day so that I can have a great day. So I give techniques. It's not anything that nobody else knows. Everybody knows you need to spend quiet moments to get by yourself each day, breathing and focusing your mind. Everybody knows you need to eat a great diet. And I just went through why that's so important. Everybody knows you need to sleep such and such amount of hours a day. It's nothing new, but it's just getting them to wake up to it and to actually apply it in their lives.
It's kind of getting people back to the traditional things that our ancestors have known for thousands of years or whatever that we've forgotten.
None of this stuff is new.
Yeah.
But we get so bogged down with media and our jobs and reaching for all these things outside of ourselves, thinking that this is going to make me happy. This new car is going to make me happy, or this house in Malibu is going to make me happy, or my sexy spouse is going to make me happy. They reach, and then they spread themselves so thin that their health begins to suffer. And I always say this. I'm like, look, you think you're fooling nature, but you're not fooling nature. You can only fool nature for so long before it comes back to you. And where it comes back to a lot of people is their health. You could put your body through only so much before it's like, no, I need a little help here. So I'm sick now and I'm tired and I can't do anything else until you help me out.
Well, it's amazing how your body kind of, if you let it get to that point, your body will just tell you, look, you may not think it's important to slow down and take time for this stuff, but I'm going to make it so you have no choice.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of the point that, I got myself to that point, just so exhausted, and started even having panic attacks, anxiety attacks, from getting, it's always go and do everything high intensity and fast and no time to stop and rest. We've gotten to a point where we think that it's it's almost considered lazy to sit down and take 15 minutes in the middle of the day to breathe, just to, do some meditation or do some kind of mental relaxation, or even a nap. But that's an essential part, really, of our health, is to do that during our days, is to allow that so that we can be more productive after it.
Yeah, and if you look at an animal in a forest, right, when they're sick or if they're hurt, they lay down and they rest. They know. This little squirrel in the woods who has no education, but doesn't even know it's living, knows that I need to sit and lay down and be quiet and be still, so to give my body a chance to heal.
Yeah.
But us as humans, we rationalize everything, and we're like, I have to get to my job. No, I have to bring my kid here. No, even though I feel like crap right now, I still need to be on that treadmill for 45 minutes. And we run and we run and we run ourselves ragged, when if we would just chill out and give ourselves and our bodies that time to heal, we'll get better. We'll get better. Given half a chance, the body really wants to heal itself. It wants to help you. And we have to look at it with more care and with more love, and give it the health and the rest and the nutritious food that it needs.
Well, in regards to stress, that even applies. You kind of alluded to this a little bit in there about, how I need to spend an hour on the treadmill every day or whatever you said there, to good stress. Obviously exercise, whether it's weight training or spending, time running or whatever you're doing, is a positive form of stress, but it's still a stress in your body. So, how can that affect your stress levels as well?
Well, a lot of people, when they're trying to lose weight, the first thing they're doing is like, I'm going to run 2 hours today, and that's going to help me to lose weight, or it's going to make me feel stronger, or whatever it may be. But stress is stress. The body sees stress as stress. And one of the things that the body does is it holds on to your calories and it holds on to your food. Because we evolved that way. When the body saw stress many, 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 many years ago, when we had famine, that was a type of stress because we weren't eating. So the body evolved to be like, look, we might go through a period of famine right now, so in order for me to save you, I'm going to hold on to some food, so when we don't eat for a few days, I'm going to slowly deliver the nutrients back to your body. And that's how we evolved. And the body, like I said before, sees stress as stress. So if your boss is yelling at you, if you're fighting with your kids, if you're over-exercising, your body sees that as stress, and it will hold on to those calories. So when people are on treadmills for an hour and a half, 2 hours, just pounding away, that is stress on your body. And people over-exercise and they get hurt, or they get sick, or they just... I know if I'm over-exercising, if I'm not excited to get to the gym. Yeah. If I'm not like, yes, I get to go to the gym today and work out, I know that I overdid it and I need to take a break.
All right. Well, we've covered, just summing it up, we've covered a lot of things. We've covered that exercise, managing stress, and nutrition are all obviously very important factors for your health. We talked a little bit about what Eric does, showed you his website a little bit. But also, I want to make sure that we talk about, you've got this upcoming teleseminar or teleclass series that's going to be going on here. I'm pretty excited about it. I've got my ticket lined up. I'm going to be definitely checking this thing out and see what Eric's got to teach us there. But just for you guys to hear a little bit about it, I will have the link down below so you can get the rest of the information. But Eric, why don't you tell us a little bit about how this is going to go?
Well, what it is, it's really everything that I know with having to make person a healthier person. It's everything that I know, in these 3 lessons, and each lesson talks about a different aspect of health. So there's going to be a lesson on nutrition, everything that I know as a health coach to guide people to a healthier life through the foods that they eat. There's going to be a lesson on stress management, and we spoke a little bit about how stress can be good and how it can affect our health. you know, and how it could prevent us from losing weight or prevent us from living a happier, healthier life. So understanding how stress, understanding the domino of stress in your life and how to relieve that. And also about motivation and just getting people to set goals and to stick to goals and to challenge people to make sure that health is number one to them. Because I always tell people, if you're sick and tired and you're not feeling your best, who you help to? You're not helping anybody.
Yeah.
You know? Just like when you're on an airplane and they're like, if that oxygen mask drops down, make sure you put it on yourself first before you take care of anybody else.
So basically, Eric is like your oxygen mask, is what we're saying here.
I like that, Kevin. Pretty much. Pretty much. You know? So it's pretty much like you have to take care of yourself before you can help anybody else, because you're not going to be good to anybody if you're sick and if you're in the hospital. So yeah. These lessons, I called it Reclaim Your Health, because a lot of people are so lost and health is not even a priority to them. They need to go back and they need to grab it and they need to reclaim it. And it has to be a part of their life. And these 3 lessons will definitely do that.
And then along with those lessons, there's going to be the bonus calls as well. So we can do some, actually, if you're on them live, or you can hear them recorded, but there's also going to be the live calls where you can actually ask questions specific, you know, to your circumstance or to sort of the questions that you had come up during the class, right?
Yeah. So there's going to be a bonus Q&A before the lessons even come out. The lessons start coming out on November 8th, and they run for 3 consecutive classes. So even before the first lesson comes out, a live Q&A where I will answer any of the questions that you have, help you start setting your goals. And there will also be a group forum where you can get together and connect with the other people that are going to be in the class. Post your goals, post your progress, because that's really important to help motivate each other and cheer each other on. And there will also be a ending Q&A where you can talk about your progress and see where you can go from there.
Okay, that sounds great. I mean, guys, so you know, you want to check out erichulse.com. You want to, the links are going to be down here for that as well. But and then the link for the teleclass, which is going to be great. We'll get through the rest of this election season and all the crazy stress of deciding who to vote for. You can vote, and then on the 8th, you can get rid of all that stress by learning how to live healthy and stress-free from Eric.
Yeah.
Eric, thanks a ton for being on here with me and recording this 7 different times. You know, you're like I said. I said this last time we recorded this, that you were the hardest working guest that I've had. And now we've done it all again. So definitely, Eric is a hardworking guy, very committed to get his voice out there and to help you guys. So please check him out, and we will see you again, hopefully sometime soon, when Eric and I want to talk to you about a special project that we're discussing here. We'll be back wearing alien-looking funny glasses next time.
Yes, take over the world.
That's right. All right, Eric. Thank you.